an exclusive XM presentation.
Jim Norton is about to get unmasked.
Unmasked. Truth in comedy.
Swimming through the inner soul of the comedic mind.
Unmasked on XM Satellite Radio.
Brought to you by BowDogLife.net. Playing poker has never been easier. Sign up for free today at BowDogLife.net.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
I remember my girlfriend and I were watching Oz, and she's like, "Do you think you'd be raped in prison?" I'd be raped in the bus on the way to prison. I was raped in Monopoly jail. You know, people are so obsessed, you know, don't get me sick, don't cough around me. You tell me you're OCD and I'll walk right, come here. Then I'll read off my sexual history and watch you panic and cry.
This is Unmasked with Jim Norton, an XM exclusive comedy presentation. Now, from XM's Performance Theater, here's host Ron Bennington.
All right. Welcome to Unmasked. I'm Ron Bennington. We are going to bring out a gentleman right now who you can hear on XM radio every single day on the Opie and Anthony Show. You can also pick up this new best-selling book. Happy Endings is the name of it. I hope everybody has already picked this up. It's something that you want to keep away from the children, but it's indeed a bestseller on the New York Times. He's got another HBO special coming up real soon. Put your hands together for Jim Norton. Jimmy. Welcome, buddy. Thank you. Thanks, now, the point here of Unmasked is to figure out what the comic is behind what the act is on stage. And I cannot imagine that there is a single secret that you have left at this point, because it's your act, it's in the book. Other than the fact that maybe you're with PETA, I would have no idea how you could shock the audience tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably not much that they don't know already, just from listening to the show and from watching the act. I mean, it's pretty much mostly true. The stuff that people don't know is the boring stuff. Just like what a fucking emotional boob I am.
Right.
Me and my girlfriend were watching on Golden Pond, and I'm just weeping like a washwoman. Like that. It's like that type of stuff that people are like, ugh, we didn't want to know that. It's douche chill.
Why the complete honesty? When did that start, from the beginning of the stand-up career? Is it something that you got used to talking about?
I've always kind of, the guys I like the most were the honest comedians. I mean, you know, my favorite is Pryor, he's my idol, and he was honest. He talked about his mother being a prostitute, you know, and his father being abusive, and it's like the guys I've always loved did that. And I kind of always feel like there's so many hacks and so many like guys that are just doing the same shit. All I own is myself and my views on stuff. So if I'm not talking about myself, what the fuck am I doing up there? It's like I kind of like that anything I do is mine to talk about.
Right.
And I'm very lazy, and I really don't feel like, you know, doing observational political shit because it bores me. You know, it's fun for a week, and then it becomes old.
So everything basically that your main interest is you.
Well, yeah, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
You know, Ron, when you have this to work with. No, I just feel like I'm always aware of what it is I'm doing, you know, and I just feel like it's fun to tell people, because I always feel good when I relate to somebody. Like when somebody says something that I do, I'm like, fuck, I do that. It makes me feel better. So when I confess things that I confess on stage, whether it's sexual in nature or desires to blow my brains out or whatever it is that everybody has from time to time, I kind of feel like there's something close about that with the audience, because I like hearing that from people.
And is that what they come and say to you later? Like, I don't tell people, but I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah, I've gotten emails about that, and people do say that. And the sexual stuff, the most, because that's like the most taboo. You know, a lot of people can't talk about it, or they don't want to talk about it because they're married or whatever. But I think a lot of times they like hearing the honesty of that.
Well, that's kind of interesting, too, because when you go I know this for a fact. I meet people who listen to XM all the time. And I will meet women and I'll go, they're going to ask me about Jimmy. Women will say, tell me about Jimmy Norton. Is it real? Is this an act? It seems to almost attract women to you.
Well, it weeds out all non-hackers who do not pack the gear to serve in our beloved corps. You know,
you will come off stage and you'll meet a lot of those girls who want to, like, take the Jimmy Norton experience.
Well, the majority of women aren't attracted to what I do. It's just the ones that are know what they're in for. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like if there's 50 women, maybe 3 will like me, but all 3 of those have a full bladder.
Right. They're all gamers.
Yeah. They're what we call good eggs.
And going into this from your book, the sexual addiction stuff, very, very early. Very, very young.
2nd grade, I can remember. This is true, man. I didn't have intercourse till I was 18. The first time I fucked a girl, I was half drunk. I was one of those white black kids before it was fashionable, and I had like on a furry Bell Burgundy Kango. I mean, just an asshole. Really was awful. And I had sex with this girl, Michelle, I was dating. But my sexual behavior started with and I've talked so many times about Monster Rain, but me and my little buddies blowing each other under a porch in Edison, New Jersey. And I counted 10 sexual partners before I moved to North Brunswick. And I moved to North Brunswick Halloween of 4th grade. So anything that happened in Edison happened before Halloween of 4th grade. I had a brother and sister, 2 friends of mine. One was a year older than the other. And I used to like the smell of piss. And both of them would piss their pants all the time. I don't know what was happening in that household, but neither one of them was properly trained to use a toilet. So I would lay behind the bushes, and I would get either him or his sister to sit on my face so I could smell the piss through their clothing. You know, healthy. But true.
And, yeah. You know, I mean, I understand being a little kid playing doctor, but you know.
Oh, yeah, no, it was
urologist, I guess, for you. I mean, it went in a whole other. I mean, have you ever once thought, I need to talk to somebody about this, or are you worried it'll fuck up the act?
Oh, no, I'm in therapy now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. The only thing that I'm afraid of is, and I won't do, is medication. That scares me because I'm afraid of fucking with my mind at all like that, just because, but the sexual addiction, Colin Quinn said something to Nick DiPaolo one time, because to me they're both absolutely brilliant comedians. But he said, Nick, you're so angry, sometimes that blocks your creativity. And, and Colin, saying that made me think, my sexual stuff will block my creativity because it's an escape. You know what I mean? It's like anything else you do. It's like smoking dope or fucking drinking. I mean, it's just a way to zone out and completely, just be devoid of any real emotion or feelings. And I think if I put any effort into writing like I did into sexual addiction, I'd be a lot more productive and a lot more in touch with what's going on. So it hurts more than it helps, I think. Because
it makes you lean back on top of those sexual addictions, your curiosity is there too. I mean, that also has a lot to do with your writing, since it's in your mind so much.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when so many hours a day are spent focusing for real. Not just, I jerked off today, but I mean, literally, when you're fucking, when you go through 3 prostitutes in a night sometimes because you just need that perfect high to come, it's like doing drugs again, man. I've been sober a long time, but that's what it's like.
And maybe if you ever conquer that, you will work outside yourself. You will go, hey, CNN had something interesting on.
Yeah, not to become a self-important douche. You ever notice?
All right, let's go that way, because you do seem like a guy who will say not everybody is a comedian. Some of the comedians go in here and said, doesn't matter what type of comedy it is. But for you, there are hacks.
Yeah.
And there are people that you don't think, I'm in the same business as them.
Yeah, I mean, well, hacks are funny. I mean, a hack joke is like McDonald's. Those are funny jokes, so hacks always do well on stage. You know what I mean? Hacks are not that easy to spot, and that's why comedians hate them, because you watch a guy. It's almost like somebody saying, "Wow, that was a wonderful painting," but it's fucking painting by numbers because you saw him backstage and you saw the one and the red and
right.
That's why it annoys comics. It's not a jealousy thing. It's it's just irritating because you kind of know how they came to that stuff. But yeah, there's plenty of hacks. I mean, guys, I love Patrice. I love guys that talk about themselves and their own lives.
All right, for you, you're saying, all right, you don't paint by numbers. You're throwing paint up there, and you have to be in that moment.
No, I'm not. I don't mean it like I'm a renegade either. I mean, I do want the picture to look nicely, but I mean, I fuck up a lot. You know, I mean, and it's like I don't want to paint by numbers. And again, I don't think I'm up there doing Andy Kaufman either. But you try to strive for some kind of originality, otherwise you're shit.
When did you find that this is the character? I mean, was that early on? Is this kind of the same Jimmy Norton we would have seen 6 months into his career, or what?
No, I was an embarrassment. I watched tapes of myself from the old days, and I can't when I first came on, I literally cannot watch it. I'd rather watch myself blowing somebody on film.
And those are available.
Oh, they certainly are.
Yeah. So, at what point did it kick in for you that you said, I'm not on the right track?
I don't know, man. It's just from being on stage every night.
Yeah.
It just kind of happens. There was no moment or no light. It just kind of